Basel. I live in West St. Paul in the 52A. I saw that Henry Sibley has started some sort of an internship project for nurses and mechanics. And I'm originally from Switzerland. And Switzerland and Germany, they have this apprenticeship system where 16-year-olds do part-time work and go to school part-time, actually training for a specific non-academic job. And in these two countries that I know of, it has been hugely successful. And it is a good option because not everybody wants to go to college and become a doctor like yourself. We need good plumbers, we need good masons, and so on. And these jobs right now are kind of undervalued and not taken seriously enough. And I believe we need something like the European-style apprenticeship system here. So I was wondering if what they're doing at Henry Sibley is something that's just the beginning of something that's coming, or if this is really still dormant, and what we can do to push that forward.
You know, the biggest thing I want to say about that is I totally support your premise. When we go out to local businesses here in Mendota Heights, there's a place called, it's an asphalt company in Mendota Heights, Bituminous. And you know, they've got high-paying jobs for high school grads. Start working tomorrow and make, you know, a very high wage, and they can't find workers. And the same thing, there's a trucking company in South St. Paul, and they cannot find people to repair their diesel trucks. And you're right, we have this culture where everybody goes to college, and those jobs are devalued. And so, to the extent that the public schools can turn that culture around, and we as legislative leaders can turn that culture around, we should do so. I don't know, I haven't heard of any bills at the state legislature this year that would address that specific concern. But I take it to heart, and I'll look for it from the education communities in sessions to come. Anything to add to that?
I still remember arc welding in 8th grade and building a toolbox out of wood. And I think this goes back to the comment I made about our schools and resources that they could be, not just during the school day. We provide a lot of direction, I call it direction or mandates, to our teachers and to our school boards. But I think there are resources there that we could use to get people using their hands more. I'll use one example of what we can do at the state level with the technical colleges. So we're both on the bonding committees looking for money for Robert Street, but we took the tour down to southwestern Minnesota, and I think it was at Pipestone or Jackson, the technical college. We spent, I think, $3.5 million on power line technician training. We built a very large building and put power poles in there. And when we visited, there were probably 40 to 50 18 and 19-year-olds that had just graduated from high school the following spring. They're in a one-year program. They are going to walk out of there making 60 to 75K starting. And because there's a need for power line poles. Now, Matt climbed one on a pole. I did not. Thought they'd been. So he climbed the poles, but those 18 and 19-year-olds were just going up there. And you know, they could do that for 20 years and then have another profession as well. I mean, there's not that many of us 50-year-olds that are climbing those. There are some. But that's an example of an investment that we could make in technical colleges that fills a need. And the rural co-ops and the folks were right there because they're going to snap up those students as soon as they're done, as are the other utilities. So that's an example not at the high school, but something we did with the technical colleges. And we have DCTC and Inver Hills and a number of these things where there are needs. We visited, I think it was the Riverland in Albert Lee and in Austin, and they were doing auto shop, and the students have to bring their own tools in. They don't have the tools to teach them. They have to buy their tools and bring them in to work on autos. And so basic things like that where we could provide, and they said there's people at we need auto mechanics and we need people to do that. But if you're 18 years old and you've got to buy a tool set to go to college, in addition to pay for the tuition. You know, that's another barrier, but they will get that job if they can make it through. So each of these places, they said, help us. We need to get students that are there that can start that. And you can help by doing things in the high schools.